Hello, 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 and welcome to BGP. A big topic that's going across social media and the news and everything right now is about Shannon Sharp, aka Shay Shay. Y'all might call him your uncle. I don't know, but
Auntie.
auntie, right? So to go a little bit, let me first just tell you a little bit about Shannon. Shannon, NFL player, Hall of Famer.
Tight end.
Okay. Nice body. ESPN sports commentator. You know, has some good stuff behind him. And then recently has had a SA allegation that he is being charged with. Now, going back just a little bit, there was a period where Shannon apparently accidentally left his phone on live. And accidentally left his phone on live, and you could hear him and a young lady, which I believe this young lady is the same young lady that has these allegations at this time. Is it or is it not? No. Okay, so it is not the same.
But
lady.
her name is Michelle.
But her name happened to be Michelle
that's
too.
why I got confused.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so this is when I lost all respect for Shannon. Shay, Unc. It was at that point because to me, come on now. And then ironically, a few months later, now he's endorsing this keep your dick hard medication, the anti-ED. So
We know how you feel
you
about
know what
ED.
I'm saying? I don't like you ED dudes. Y'all be okay.
Oh my
Anywho. So then he did that, and that just kind of like what I was really enjoying his podcast. It was good, and then he hooked up with Ocho Cinco, and it just kind of took a different direction to me. My first question in regards to Shay Shay.
Mhm.
Oh, I got to say one more thing before I ask my question. Apparently, the girl that is taken, who is charging him with these allegations, is currently 22 years old. When Shannon began to deal with her, she was 19, 50 something and 19, 54 and 19. You hear me? 54. What do you really have in common with a 19-year-old? And to me, that's just teetering on pedophilia, just a tad. I know she's an adult, but that's a big gap in age. So my question to you ladies is, how do you feel about Shannon, messing with a 19-year-old? What could they have in common? And how do you feel about that? I'll ask you first, Nisha.
Oh shit. I've said this on previous episodes when we talk about older people dating younger people. I take issue with that. He's old enough to be her granddaddy.
Exactly.
Her grandpappy. Pawpaw. I don't think they have anything in common unless he has a young mindset. And when I say young mindset, I mean immature. I think it's disgusting. Like his kids is older than her. All of them.
Grandkids.
Older than her, his kids. And so when I heard of it, I was sick to my stomach because I'm like, that's disgusting. Exactly. And that's because I know some deflectors, because I'm guilty of being a deflector. Some deflectors are going to say, well, what about women that date younger men like that too? I haven't seen any women that are in there. Yes, I have. I do. I think it's disgusting both ways. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's good. I think it's disgusting. That's my initial thoughts. It was disgusting. Yeah.
And Mona?
Well, I think she hit the nail on the head when she said it's immature. He's immature. He's with a 19-year-old. Like Nisha said, he can be her granddaddy. He's nasty. I think he thinks he can have his way. Because, he in a choking a bitch.
Yes, right?
He
But that
can't
black
choke
baby-
my old ass.
Okay, we fighting.
And they don't have anything in common with him. You over there bragging about who he is and all his accolades, and she's all starry-eyed and think, she won something, and get on the ground and bark for me, So it's disgusting and it's immature, and I think he's trying to live something that he couldn't live during his youth.
Mm-hmm.
They told Shannon Sharp to act his age, and he said he was gonna act his ways.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the young girl groomed his old ass,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
The girl's 19 and she's an OnlyFans. Why would you get yourself involved with somebody with that kind of background?
Mm-hmm.
And these men, it's funny because they really think that these young ladies really like them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think they have no
Please.
arterial motives. They don't, they think they're being very impressive and everybody wants to be with him. Monique tried to warn him. Sherry Underwood tried to, was that her name? Cheryl Underwood. Cat Williams tried to warn him, and he
Ocho Cinco.
Yeah, everybody was trying to warn him.
Yeah.
He was having guests, and he was kind of berating them for the things that they had did, and he was doing all kind of stuff behind the scenes. That Michelle tape came out because he was trying to ward off the rumors that he was on the down low.
Yeah.
And it backfired on his butt.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp has always been a mess. His children, he was having unprotected sex with 2 women. He got 3 baby mamas.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he was having unprotected sex with 2 women
At the same
to the
time.
point where 2 of his children are born in the same year.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And he's always had allegations for abuse.
Yes.
His first baby mama said that he literally lifted her up and put her out the house. So he's nasty. He's old. He liked them snow bunnies.
Yeah.
And he liked to have his way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a setup from the jump when you now listen back to it, all the choking and all this kind of stuff. And just the way she was talking, it just seemed like she was luring him and leading him into saying certain
like she
things,
groomed him.
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
So then I heard recently that initially there was a $10 million settlement that he was going to offer her.
Mm-hmm.
And probably the lawyer got in his ear and said, hey, baby, look, you got way too much evidence to settle for $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently it's much more freaky or nastier shit going to come out anyway.
But see, he was on there trying to say it was a shakedown. But if you knew, then he turned around and said it was consensual. If it was consensual, why would you give her $10 million?
Right.
Thank you. That's the part.
When you giving somebody that large amount of money, you're admitting to some sort of guilt.
Mm-hmm. And you know it's about to come out.
Yeah. Nasty
Mhm.
boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now he can get her for about, I think they now trying to get $50 million.
Yeah.
And the other lady did come out
The other
to
Michelle.
tell
I
her
just
story,
seen her.
Michelle.
Michelle.
And that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she did, for those that, because people be like, why you wait till now? She did try.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She did try. But he was able to threaten her and send someone to threaten her to make it go away. And so he threatened her and her family. And she said she just wanted to be done with it and just get him out of her life, which from a, how do I want to call this? A DV, I guess, perspective. I can understand just doing whatever you can to get that person away so that you don't have to live in that type of fear. I can understand that. I also can understand how years later on, you kind of have that courage to be like, I'm not running no more.
Exactly.
Like, I'm going to tell my story. And I can understand that too. So I get it. But it sounds like he's been a piece of shit for years.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if them baby mamas came out and told their truth, I feel like a lot of people would be like, he said some very like distasteful things about older women. Older women are jealous of younger women. Older women think that they gonna, be able to do this with me, but I prefer younger, and there's nothing wrong with that. I can't do his voice because he got a little twang in it that I
his
just
his tongue
Like he
tongue,
stuck his
his tongue tail.
yeah.
They can tear it up. They can tear it up. They trying to destroy the black man.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said some very distasteful things as of late until this came out. So it's kind of like, okay. I mean, you knew she was an OnlyFans model.
Right.
You knew that you had to pay for her time. Like she She was charging this man $25,000 per smack.
Oh,
per butt cheek. 25,000.
damn.
But then he would say comments about Black women just wanting his money, and he not gonna give him a dime. And if his daughter was getting married and he only was gonna give her 10,000, she better get a job to pay for the rest of that wedding. But 25,000 for little Miss Sunshine, for a little smack on the cheek. I don't know. I guess fat meat is what'd you say? Fat meat ain't greasy, right? Yeah. Fat meat ain't greasy, because I mean, if somebody warns me, like Mona per se, Nisha, don't go down that street. Mm-hmm. You might want to go that way, go the other way. Don't go down that street, because look, I've been down that street. I know what it's like down there. Don't go down that street. I'm gonna go down that street anyway. What you gonna tell me? I'm going anyway. And then Adrian be like, girl, I just came from that street. Stay the fuck away from that street.
Yeah.
Go over there to that other side over there. It's a little bit longer, but go the other way. Because if you go that way, if you take that shortcut, you're going to hurt yourself. And I ignore it. And 2 more people tell me, and I still ignore it. I can't sit there and say it's a shakedown. You put yourself out there. You told the world how much you make. You told the world you wasn't dealing with Black women. You told the world you wasn't dealing with older women. You told the world you prefer young and youthful and juicy, right? Non-Black, of course. So I don't feel sorry for you.
I don't feel sorry for him at all. ESPN, too. Like his idea to step away from ESPN. Mm-hmm. I think it was a good idea.
Very smart.
Apparently, ESPN is owned by Disney.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good idea for him to do that. Or he was going to be told
to get fired.
Yeah, he was going to get told to resign or be let go. My thing with Shannon is all these different episodes where they showing little pieces where he talks about this. This was said to him. And he just did whatever the heck he wanted to. I think this is typical of dudes with big money. They going to do whatever the heck they want to. And then, as we see, they always pay later. Your Diddy's, your R. Kelly's, and your now Shannon's. And they end up having to pay big money or be embarrassed and ridiculed. They started pulling in, what's Megan Good's old dude's name?
Who, the pastor?
Not the old dude, the new dude. They started talking about how now he's running back to the Black community because, all of these things that happen. What is your feeling about these big dudes with money messing with these white girls?
You could date whoever you want to date. I don't care who you date. My thing, I've always said, just don't bash.
Exactly.
Don't bash the ones you don't want. Like, if you're going to date out. But I don't need to know that you don't like Black women. I don't need to know that you have an issue with older women. I don't need to know that you feel like, younger women feel better than older women. I don't need to know that. Just go in the direction you want to go, and it is what it is. But for a lot of men with melanin, with money, for some reason, they like to talk now. They like to share that truth. And Cat Williams did say, this is the year of the truth. Yeah. Well, he said it last year, but it's still open. It's the years of truth where people are just not hiding it anymore. So, be careful.
What goes on in the dark always gonna come to the light.
Sure does.
Some way, how, time, place. Social Norm says that, and he said this on one of his broadcasts. I don't know if it was Meg Thee Stallion or Gorilla, so don't quote me, but I think they were kind of flirting back and forth. And he said, half your age plus 7. 56, half of that is what, 28? Plus 7 is 35.
You still
that girl's 19.
Exactly.
Come on, dude.
Maybe his math ain't mathing.
And if you got a creep, you know you ain't doing right. He know he couldn't bring that 19 home to his kids. They say that too much is given, much is required.
Who?
And I'm going to tell you like this, Mr. Shannon Sharp, you ain't white. You can't go sleep with the oppressors' daughters and granddaughters with that money that they paying you. That's why they get all y'all black asses at some point in time. They paying you. They don't want their businesses to be corrupt,
tainted,
especially by a black man. You know, he might have stepped down because they told him, you better step down because you're going to get fired.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We like you, but you did something wrong, so we're going to give you the opportunity to step down because, yeah, he is losing all of his endorsements and shit. And he just keep on talking. Shut the fuck up.
He won't stop.
You got the money. Let your lawyers talk for you. And he just talk. Dude, it's a bad look. It's a bad look. And you would expect that when you get money, you move different.
You think?
You worked my ass off to get to this position, to having your downfall be something sexually deviant with a minor.
With a minor.
She 19. She not grown.
She not. Yeah.
Not hardly.
Yeah.
Keyword teen.
Teen. Teen still in the age. Teen.
Okay.
Yeah.
56-year-old. Your ass is old.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He's sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering, what do you think should happen to him?
He gonna have to give up that money.
50 mil?
I don't know about 50. I think they'll probably settle for
25,
less.
half.
Probably, yeah, probably 25. I can see that. But he gonna have to give up that money. He'll probably settle so that it don't have to go to court, and then issue some type of apology. I'm sorry. My prediction, which I hope I'm wrong, he'll probably step out with a black woman.
Oh yeah.
Hold hands.
Correct.
Yeah, have a conversation with a black woman in front of the camera.
Right.
Let's go have lunch in front of where the paparazzi sit. He'll probably do that for a little bit, which I hope that's not the case. And just rebuild, because she gonna get the money. She got the text messages. She got they got the audio. And I mean, the attorney said, because he was like, tell the attorney to release all of the audio. And he's like, why would I do that when I could just see you in court? No, exactly. I'm not doing that. You got a snippet. You know what you said on that recording. Like, I'm not releasing the full thing. I'll see you in court. Rightfully so. Yeah, that's what I think would happen. My prediction.
I think Shay gonna have to pay back.
Yep.
And it's really sad because, let's say hypothetically, he's not found guilty. That stain is
It's there.
Ride him, be on him for the rest of his career. So he gonna pay with money, or he's gonna pay with the ruining of his lifetime working and his a career and all the things that he's accomplished. Yeah.
And is this typical of these guys over 50? Is this a midlife crisis that they going through, or they want to still see if they got it? Do they mess with these young girls because they think maybe they don't know that things aren't supposed to work certain ways, and they just... What is the attraction?
I think it's a celebrity thing. I think because they all do it.
Power.
Got a young girl.
He do?
Ron Isley got a young girl. Eddie Murphy got a young girl.
Al Pacino.
Terrence Howard got a young girl. They all do it. They don't want to grow up. They are Toys R Us kids. They don't want to grow up. They don't want to be in the role that they're supposed to be in. Every year you're supposed to do something different. They're going backwards. Men have midlife crisis. That's why they buy the Corvette. That's why they try to get in the gym. That's why they try to, wear the juvenile clothes, fubu all over and stuff, like they still got it. That's why they out there in a suit coat and some jeans and one of them damn old ass grandpa hats and shit all mixed up and stuff. Yeah, they're trying to relive their youth. And they think that when they get money, that they can do whatever they want to do. They are above the law. And we have, and I want y'all to be very careful as women, check out these dudes that's co-signing this. Because they seem to believe when they get money, they can do what they want to do, sleep what they want to sleep with. His little girlfriend, the Boy Toys, is coming out too. and just manipulate women, sleep with young women, ruin their lives, and then turn around and call them a bunch of hoes after they didn't have their way with them. So be careful of these men that are co-signing him. I don't have a problem with him being kinky, freaky, or whatever. But see, that really is supposed to be for your wife or your husband. You know, you explore all those kinks when you marry because it's consensual. And they think that these women really like them for who they are as a person. They don't even know these dudes' middle names. You got some money, stupid. I'm trying to get it, dummy, because that's what the internet told the young ladies to do. Fuck love. Fuck that you like him. Fuck if you don't know where he came from. Get the bag. So now they getting the bag by any means necessary, and the men is mad for them following instructions because they say women don't listen. So now that the women is listening and going after the bag, oh my God, these women are dangerous.
You gotta watch them. They're dangerous. They are gonna take your money, all of it. Okay.
I loved how Monique got at him. And she did it in a funny way because this was prior to all of this stuff coming out. But I love the way she checked him, and everything she said was on point.
She told him to get a fat woman.
Yep.
Get you a woman over 35.
Yeah, exactly.
Gonna rub your feet.
She gonna keep taking
when y'all eat don't work. She gonna make her some toast with some apple butter and some eggs.
She told you she gonna look mindful of your health and everything, and make sure you're good.
Yeah, she was on point.
And he was like, I don't want that. I don't want.
That's what you need.
Well, could I have what I had? You did.
You did.
And now look.
And he really got to lean towards white girls because did you see him dancing?
Girl. When he was doing the electric slide.
Was that the electric slide?
Is that what we want to call it?
Oh, my God. Boy, sit down, baby.
Yeah, he definitely is
That's not your thing. Sit down.
Rhythm challenged. So in closing, what would be your final words, Miss Nisha?
Move smarter. You know, protect your assets. NDAs are your friend. Because she did not sign an NDA, and he asked her to, and she said no. So that should have been your warning. NDAs are your friend. Be mindful of what you text. Be mindful of what you record. I don't kink shame because I have kinks of my own. But I'm also of the understanding that you're supposed to protect that so that it doesn't get out. If you know that you're into certain kinks, and in his case, he's into racial kinks, an NDA would have definitely been needed before you even make that kind of move. So be mindful to all you wealthy, quote unquote, wealthy elite men. I'm not going to say high value because I think that's low trash now because everybody claim they high value. But to you wealthy elite men, move smarter, protect your assets, set up some NDAs if you're going to be dealing with different types of people so that you can cover yourself. Now, granted, NDAs does not cover you from criminal activity, but it does cover you from things like you're not going to release no audio, you're not going to release no text messages, you're not going to release no, what we do privately, like I shouldn't have heard that you told her that you want to put a big black baby in her stomach, I shouldn't have known that you like anal. I shouldn't have known that. I could have speculated, but I shouldn't have known that, And so there's just things that I feel like as people, and I mean, I won't even just say men, I'll say men and women, right, of means. Protect your assets, do NDAs to cover it if you into, your thing, and don't let your kinks get you into something that, your money is going to have to get you out of. And that's my final thought.
My final thought is when you know better, you hoe better. See, we try to understand why the young people can't, act like adults. But you got all these old men acting like children. They're supposed to teach, yes.
Lead. Be an example.
Be example, lead, all of that.
Yeah.
by the errors of their ways and tell them that, this all looks good, but this ain't what it is, and try to get them to move in a better position. But they don't want to grow up. They taking all the young girls from the young men. You're supposed to be past that. You're supposed to get past some things and grow up and mature. Final thought is, it is what it is. Good luck, dude.
And my final thoughts are, Shay, I hope that young cooch was worth all that you're about to lose, your reputation, everything. Fellas, think before you lay with these girls. Like the lady said today, be smarter. Your expectations at 56 years old should be a little bit different. You got a lot to lose. The consequences at this age, you tend to lose a whole lot dipping over there and messing with these young girls. It's not a good look. We got to do better in that area. We are expecting you to be the example for these young boys growing up, and here you are acting a fool. It's just not a good look.
Like I said, visually remember some of these dudes that are co-signing in, because there's a lot of perverts that came out the closet on this internet.
Sure
Watch
did.
them. Be careful. Don't entertain them. If you follow on their channels, unsubscribe. I'm dead serious, because I was very disturbed by the men that were co-signing. I should have a young woman. You ain't had your share of young woman. You that horny at 56 years old that you gotta go lay up with a teenager. And I feel sorry for and I hope that these men don't have children, especially girls. And I hope that if you have daughters, that you don't wish for something like this to happen to your daughters, because it's a bad look out here. It is. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how all this turns out. But we're BGP. Be sure to subscribe. Put some comments in there. Give us some ideas for some topics you'd like to be discussed. And we're out. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.
BGP, we out.